Welcome to the Terrible Take, a mini podcast telling Steelers Nation what's on our mind. I'm Josh Carney. Coming into training camp, the interior of the offensive line for the Pittsburgh Steelers looked very strong following the drafting of rookies Zach Frazier and Mason McCormick, pairing them with the likes of Isaac Seumalo, James Daniels, Nate Herbig, and Spencer Anderson on the interior. One could have argued that the interior was a strength for the Steelers on the offensive side of the football, regardless of how the starting lineup shook out. But now, with Herbig done for the season and Frazier stepping into a starting role, depth is a real concern, particularly at center. While Anderson has experience at center and was a name that I personally didn't want to forget about in the offseason at the position prior to the draft, him being your potential number 2 center behind a rookie isn't all that comforting. Same for McCormick, who has had a good camp and impressed in the preseason. The Steelers worked McCormick out at center coming out of South Dakota State, but he has just a handful of snaps there in his career. Asking him to be a backup center right away as a rookie might be asking him too much. All of that to say, the Steelers would be wise to add a dependable veteran to the roster following final cuts as a true backup center. Names like former Steeler J.C. Hassenauer comes to mind, as does Denver center Sam Mustipher. 2 guys that could be back out on the street following final cuts. Both have plenty of NFL experience and are dependable. That's the key. They might not move the needle, but they can be counted on in an NFL game at the pivot if needed. Right now, we can't exactly say the same for Anderson and McCormick. That's not to say that they can't do it, but that feels like a big ask right now to be the next man up behind Frazier. Adding a veteran with experience would be a wise move, and would be a nice security blanket for the black and gold in the trenches, at least early in the season. Be sure to follow us at SteelersDepot.com and check out episodes of The Terrible Take every day at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Check out The Terrible Podcast with Alex Kozora and Dave Bryan every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.